we're going to start with Christine. Christine, tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how you got into CFT.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us, ladies. I am from the Philadelphia area in Pennsylvania, and I met Barry Gillespie in my time in massage school, where I started to learn a little bit about what he was working on and his different approach. And he had this very strong reputation as just being an amazing practitioner, and all the teachers at massage school would bring their babies to him, and he just had, there was a lot of legend around him already at that point. But it just seemed a little bit over my head. It seemed a little bit out of reach. It just wasn't something I was gravitating towards. Since then, after leaving massage school, I started teaching there at a certain point, so I would see Barry around quite a bit, and I was very focused on working on adults. I started to learn some fascial work, which was interesting to me, but it didn't quite all come together until a colleague convinced me that I really should take Barry's class. And that class completely changed my professional direction and my life in a lot of ways. I took him out to lunch a few weeks after I attended his class and kind of wept on his shoulder and told him, "You just changed everything. It's all different now." And that was when I decided to move into the pediatric direction. So I've been a practicing body worker since 1997, but for the last 12 years or so, I've focused on pediatrics. And Barry's class is what changed that direction for me. And it's also the moment where the things I had been trying to learn in the myofascial trainings really all came together. There just was something missing for me until I learned CFT, and then everything really clicked. So I've been teaching with him since 2004, and it has been an incredible journey. It's just as much fun to share and teach someone how to do it as it is to go to work and do the work on clients. So I'm very excited to be here and can't wait to have the opportunity to bring this to South Africa.
So the next lady that is going to tell us all about her CFT journey is none other than Holly Steflik, our body talk practitioner on the global team.
Hi, everyone. My journey started with CFT several years ago. I am a body talk practitioner for 10 years and a body talk instructor, and a full-time practice in massage therapy and different other modalities. And I had heard about the CFT work from Matthew Newell at Family Hope Center. He was actually in a body talk class of mine maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And then again, I heard about it from him when he and his wife Carol presented at an instructors meeting. And so I knew of the work, but I never thought about learning it. And it wasn't until I read a testimonial from a body talk practitioner instructor who was a parent, and her child had had some developmental issues, was behind, just a lot of neurological, just a lot of issues going on. And so that child was getting a lot of body talk, craniosacral therapy, other modalities, and nothing was really helping him. So she ended up going to the Family Hope Center, and she ended up seeing Dr. Gillespie, who worked on her son, and she wrote this testimonial that that after the CFT session was the first time that he had ever slept through the night. So his whole nervous system just completely calmed down, and he was able to sleep. So from her testimonial, it really spoke to me. I thought this is some very interesting work that could be very much blended into my body talk practice, and I was really interested to take it right away. So I looked online and the next course was in Los Angeles, and it was only a month away, and I thought, well, I can't go to that one. So I looked again to go, to Philly in 6 months, and then after that night, I thought, I can't wait 6 months to take this. So I booked into the LA course and went out there and took the course. I came back to Chapel Hill, and I started using it in my Body Talk with my Body Talk clients immediately. So I just said, look, I've learned this new modality. I think it's going to blend really well. I can find out what's a priority. We're still going to do Body Talk, but I'm going to weave in the CFT right away. So I started doing that, and everybody was, very positive, loved it, would come back, and, things that I had been working on for months or years, shifted after 1 or 2 CFT sessions, interwoven with the Body Talk. And then people started finding out about the CFT and calling in from the outside that didn't know Body Talk. So it's worked really well to weave that into my sessions. And I work a lot with kids now, a lot with babies. So we see a lot of fascial strain in infants, newborns, toddlers, a lot of tongue tie and lip tie. So if you're interested in working with kids and babies, this 3-day course is going to be the beginning to that before you go on to learn the child, working with kids and babies.
So next on our global CFT team, we have Kim Sherlock, who's going to be one of our instructors for the 3 days in May. So yes, let's hear all about this Get to Know You, Kim.
Yeah, so thank you, Leanne. Thank you for hosting us. We are so excited to be coming to South Africa.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we really are. So I was introduced to CFT in 2007 by a friend who was bringing her son to Barry Gillespie for asthma, some behavioral issues, learning issues, and she was just sharing with me the amazing changes in him. He was resolved and off all asthma medication. His whole personality changed. Teachers were noticing how well he was doing in school, and she started sharing this with me, and she said, you should go take this class, which I kind of thought was funny because I at the time was staying at home. I had 3 kids, and I really had no medical background. I had no bodywork background, but she was saying to me, you should go do this thing. You'd be really good. I think she just knew that I had a passion for health and wellness. So so I did. That it was maybe 6 months down the road, but I read up on the work. I actually met with Barry. I had taken my father to Barry during this time, and I took the class the following September. Same class you'll be taking, the 3-day foundations, and over those 3 days, I just realized that things were going to change for me, that I was on a path, that I had really found what had kind of been waiting for me from all the years of, raising my kids and staying home. I knew something would be on the other side, and this was it. So that Monday, I went back home. I bought a table, and I started just practicing what I learned with my family and friends, and things started happening for them, and they started telling people, and I started getting phone calls. Hey, I hear you do this thing. I have headaches. My kid has asthma. Whatever it was, and very slowly and organically, a business began to grow for myself. And then I went, and I had to get licensed, and I'm in Pennsylvania as well, and Pennsylvania law states that you need to have a license to touch, and these kinds of laws were coming into effect at that time. So I went to massage school, and a licensed massage therapist, but I primarily practiced the CFT work. I have layered in some myofascial release work over the years, and have begun studying Body Talk as well, which I'm very excited about because they do blend very nicely. So I began teaching with Barry in 2010. He asked me to come on as an assistant teacher, and when he called me, I thought I won the lottery. I was just so excited to be a part of his team. And over the years, have taught with him several classes. We've traveled a little bit. And I began talking to him probably in 2011 about, really trying to share this work in a bigger way. we were very concentrated in the Philadelphia area, and told him a little bit about Facebook and the internet, and he was very, very slow to come on board, but eventually he did, and so he has, I think 500 or 600 people on his Facebook page now, over 1,000 who receive his newsletter, and so the work is spreading, and it's very exciting. What I started to see on Facebook were people who were asking, hey, do you have a practitioner in California? Is there a practitioner in the UK? Is there a practitioner all over the world? People asking for practitioners. And the answer was no. And so, I went to Barry and we really talked about building this network of practitioners so that this work will be available throughout the world. We went to him with the idea of CFT Global team going out and teaching, as he's just teaching in Philadelphia at this point. So very excited to be working with Christine and Holly. I mean, great, brilliant ladies, and I think that we have a lot of good information and a lot of unique backgrounds to bring together. We blend very well as a team. So I will say this, that when this work finds you and you grab hold of it, your life is going to change. You're going to make such a difference in people's lives. It's amazing every day. I have a full practice. I treat a lot of school-age children, teenagers, and adults. Everybody needs this work. I mean, anybody who has a brain needs this work. So there's a lot of issues and conditions that can be resolved, that can be mitigated, through the CFT. So we are very excited to come teach, and for you then, student, to take this work out into the world and throughout South Africa.